Short films come in many formats, as diverse as newsreels, cartoons, advertising, technical films, music promotions, student films, gallery installations and amateur cinematography. The range of formats makes attempting to summarise such diversity almost impossible. Even the length of a short film varies. As BFI states, some films last only 15 seconds, others up to 40 minutes. There are only a few main characters as the film is too short for an audience to get to know any secondary characters. The most popular form of short films is animation or live action. The concept of short films is that they often contain normal events that take place in everyday situations. This allows viewers to relate to the film. Normal situations are easier and more effective in short films. Short films are often realistic and present a problem that the protagonist must solve. By keeping the plot simple, it allows the short time to have to remain engaging for the viewer but not become overcomplicated. With this in mind, I ensured my narrative would remain simple when developing ideas. My chosen genre is drama. The conventions of this genre is that it exhibits real-life situations and portrays journeys of characters' development, with a narrative often following the protagonist. For example, Forrest Gump, The Shawshank Redemption, or About Time. Dramas often contain intense social interactions and have a purpose of a dramatic storyline to move the audience emotionally, such as Titanic. There is often happy ending with a form of realisation at the end of the story, for example the happy ending in The King's Speech as the protagonist overcomes his speech impediment. The audience can relate to the characters, known as preferred reading theory by Mr. Stuart Hall, that suggests the audience for the drama genre films will be open-minded and they will view any text in the way the author or director intends them to. I analysed a few drama genre short films that particularly interested me and gave me inspiration towards my own short film. Homie by Andrew Garfield is a short film that follows the conventions of a drama short film. It has a simple plot line of a boy in a primary school playground playing bulldog. He fears crossing the playground as he may get caught, allowing the audience to empathise with him before feeling pleased when he successfully crosses the playground. Most of all, I admired the music from this short film. As it was so effective, it told the audience exactly how the protagonist was feeling, which continued to tell the audience how they should be feeling. It meant there was no need for dialogue during the short film. This helped me to realise that the more effective my use of sound is, the less necessary dialogue is. And it is important as amateur short films are ridiculed for unprofessional or poor quality lip syncing or voiceovers. Therefore, I ensured I would avoid these. I also analysed the short film Touch by Nima Rashid that uses flashbacks to show the audience the life of the protagonist, which I thought was really effective and gave me an idea of showing the protagonist growing up through flashbacks, as the older version of himself reflects on his own life. The short film Touch also showed me drama convention of a strong relationship between two characters. In this case it was husband and wife, and after I developed my short film I used the relationship of a father and son. In the way Touch showed the audience that the husband dies, it helped me to develop how I want my audience to discover the death of the father in my own short film. From my previous inspiration and research of other dramatic short films, I knew I had conformed to most of the conventions of a dramatic short film. My storyline was simple, and it showed the effect of a father's death on the son's life. It followed the protagonist's point of view from a young to an older version of himself. It allowed the audience to connect with the characters in a way that I wanted them to. I conformed to a happy ending, as the son joins the army himself and follows in his father's footsteps. My title is symbolic of the narrative, alike to most films, and there are very few characters and actors used in my short film. I subverted to having a voiceover, and it being dialogue dependent due to my quality fears as it is a low-budget short film. This affected the film as it became very dependent on effective music that was successful, as I understood the importance, and I chose the song The Call by Regina Spektor, that is about fathers leaving for war, and the lyrics of the song explained the narrative and connected well with the visuals. As it was a cover by my musician Anne Llewellyn, it allowed us to sit down and discuss the pace, timing, so that the cover was very different from the original and fitted into my short film perfectly. My short film strongly follows Todorov's theory, as it starts with the equilibrium of a happy father and son relationship as the protagonist grows from a baby. This state of normality is disrupted by the death of the father, and the rest of the narrative is the development of the son, who we see return to the state of happiness through fitness and joining the army himself, with the support of his father by wearing his father's boots. Most short films subvert props character roles, as the narrative is simple and only really has two characters, the father and the son, that we only really develop the son's character, therefore the film subverts props character theories. Enigma codes are raised after the father dies for the audience because it is unclear how the son will have a happy ending in the short time frame of the film. The father's boots are symbolic throughout the film, of his son putting himself in his father's shoes, which is a strong link to the title and similarly suggests the support of the father still being accessible to the son even after his death. It shows his attachment as he grows older before putting his father's boots away when he replaces them with his own. My film poster crossed over the drama genre and slightly into the war genre conventions. I developed my understanding of film poster conventions after I had developed the narrative, and I knew I wanted a strong military links to be shown onto the film poster. As I wanted the military links on the film poster, therefore I researched film posters with sad stories that were still dramas, such as Precious, as well as Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, and Fury, which had a military background and theme. I liked the simplistic approach of Precious, using the colour to symbolise innocence, from a white background, the symbolism of the wings, therefore I knew I wanted to have my boots to be prominent on the film poster. However, the colour schemes of the war posters were more strongly linked to my narrative because my story is very sad and emotive, and I wanted that to be clear from the poster, as it is my main aim of the poster is to advertise the film. The film's unique selling point was a very emotive film from a point of view of a child that loses their father, and that's why I chose Saving Private Ryan film poster to guide my decisions, as it was very effective. The poster conforms to the positioning of all the posters, with a large main image in the centre of the poster, the film title above this, with actors' names surrounding the film title. The billing block and tagline are at the bottom of the poster. The release date or coming soon statement is often at the top or bottom of the poster. However, this is where my web address goes and my logos of the production companies, therefore I put the coming soon statement at the very top of my poster. My film review, similar to the poster, conformed fully to the layout and presentation expected from a film review. I closely followed the conventions of the latest edition of Empire Magazine Film Reviews. With the aid of the review of Sicario, released in October, it was a 5-star review. The main image was a screenshot from my film, capturing the two main characters and raising enigma codes for the reader. Also, the colour scheme of the iconography was close to the original as I could get. The font was simple and small and black, alike to other film reviews I had researched. From my research, I was able to replicate the witty tone from most film reviews, such as the tagline from Revenant suggesting without a certain actor, the film would not have been successful.